It could be even
Okay.
Boruto if you want.
Um, the from Boruto, can I make it not canon that Naruto can't come home because of his paperwork?
I'll allow it.
Oh,
Especially
can I
since it
So
can I
arguably contradicts other stuff anyways.
it's so dumb.
can I
I hate
talk
it so
about that
much.
real quick?
Go for
Yes,
it.
please.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know this isn't a thing in the US, but in Japan, like dads are very typically super busy. Like they don't get home
Mhm.
until like 11 o'clock if they work a government job. So that was done for little kids to be able to relate to Boruto because like most like Naruto is the busiest person in the village, right? So obviously he's gonna have a lot of work, but like B because that's such a normal thing here for your dad not to be able to come home, not to be able to come to any of your special events, not to like do any of that stuff, and you have to suffer through that. That's like so relatable for so many Japanese people. And then the Americans are like, rah, how dare they?
Well,
But
Yeah,
I
but
think it
like if
was
they were
done.
gonna do that, I feel like it would have worked better with Sasuke because he has a reason to only ever be there a few times
I guess,
a
yeah.
year versus like all the time. It
Well,
doesn't
yeah,
work
no,
with
but
Naruto
like,
because we know he can make thousands of clones, has more chakra than literally everyone combined, and like could just be chilling while his clones do all the paperwork. So it doesn't work as well since we already know everything. If he was just some new character, that'd be different.
but so the other thing is with that too, like, because Japan like regulations and rules are really really strict and the higher ups are really annoying as you've seen from the elders and blah blah blah. So I would imagine that Naruto has to have his physical body in the office or
Well,
like going to like it's probably a rule I would imagine.
Okay, so
so
first of all, who's gonna check? Who's gonna like be able to even hit him to see if he's a clone? He's just gonna dodge. Like,
that's
there's no
funny.
way for anyone to make him do anything.
I
But I get
mean,
what you're saying.
yes, you're right. Yeah, but like again
Like
it's like
what
a principle of a
Hamura
thing
and
cuz
what's their face? The two elders are gonna one tap him and he's gonna poof out of existence.
Well,
There's
to be
no way.
fair,
Like,
Kid Boruto did that, and it worked.
yeah.
wait, when?
Um
What?
I think at the end of the movie arc.
Yeah, no, during because Himawari's birthday, he showed up as a clone and dropped her cake. And so
Yeah,
at
but
the end,
Boruto
he
didn't
was
do that.
like,
He just dropped that on his own.
"No, I know," but then later he's like, "Just making sure you're not a shadow clone," and like punches him in the
Yeah.
stomach.
Yeah.
And the funniest part is it hurt Naruto a lot. So much for
Yeah.
Well,
durability.
well,
Power Skull
well,
was crying after
again,
that one.
if we retcon out him not being able to do all the stuff we know he can do with his clones so he can stay home, then that would never happen to begin with. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, basically, like, because Japan is a very trust-based society and they just kind of do everything, like, they obey rules without really understanding why it's a rule. It's like um like trash has to be separated. How are you going to know that somebody didn't separate their trash correctly and just put it in the other bag? But like because so many people care about like trash sorting that it just happens. And same thing with like like what are they called? It's not necessarily like a store, but like in convenience stores as well, the workers will just like go into the back and trust you to do like if there's a self checkout option to do that by yourself without any monitoring. I mean, there are cameras, but even on like my college campus, there's a Family Mart, right? And there's no cameras in the Family Mart, and the workers will just leave, and it's a bunch of college kids with access to an entire Family Mart, and there's like no one there monitoring it, so nobody like everybody just checks out their stuff. And like so anyway,
Yeah.
but because of that I feel like Naruto, if there was some sort of rule where he had to have his physical body in the office, he definitely would not like replace himself with a clone unless it was like an emergency or something, because he does have that mentality of like being a prankster or whatever. But as he grows up as well, like that's another um he's shown to be a lot more mature in terms of like taking his job seriously as Hokage and everything. So like because of that, I feel like he wouldn't like he's trying to set like a good example of following the rules and like being a father and whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
not necessarily being a father, but like in terms of being how Japanese people view like fatherhood and everything, like that is so accurate. And because Boruto is like he's literally like I don't know what 5 minutes away. Like it's the same thing where if you live near Tokyo and your dad works in like a giant building, you could go see him and like bring him lunch or whatever. But he's not gonna have the time to like talk with you or teach you how to I don't know do certain things that dads do with their children. I don't even know
Okay.
what those would be.
No, so good argument, but like my counter to that is you can't have it both ways because people are like, oh, Naruto's never had a father, he doesn't know what fatherhood is like, and then also that he's trying to like strictly follow all these traditional rules and stuff that he shouldn't know because he never had anyone to show him that, to model it. So like, which is it? Like, it's got to be one or the other, in my opinion.
Oh no, like I mean like so in his job, right? He probably had like a list of requirements that he had to do and like people like Tsunade or whoever or Kakashi training him to be Hokage. I think that was part of something in
Well,
the
yeah, we
novels
do
where
see him having to like learn stuff before he gets to become Hokage, but still, like,
Well, yeah, but not
at
only that,
least,
but I disagree with you, Axel. It can be both ways. He looked up to the
how?
Hokage when he was a kid. The third Hokage was exactly the Hokage that Naruto's being, the one who views the entire
Yikes!
village
Out
as
of
his
all the
family.
choices, no,
Well,
I get what you're saying,
but remember, the third
that
Hokage
example was
Hiruzen,
a
he
bad
didn't have a
choice.
good relationship with Asuma either. It was the same thing.
Fair enough. I don't think they intentionally wrote it that way because of that, but I hope that that's true.
We know
But I
that
don't believe
Naruto
it is.
definitely looked up to Hiruzen, not just as Hokage, but as a quote unquote good man, as Naruto calls him during his funeral, and he's like crying that why is such a good man have to die, blah blah blah. So he definitely looked up to Hiruzen.
That was pre-retcon, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
What do you wait? What retcon are you talking about?
Of Hiruzen,
Okay, yeah, I got you now.
I don't even have to explain for you
Yeah,
to know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
so for Salad and Bolts, I think that what you explained is especially important for what they did, when they did it. That being Naruto doing the like wanted to be a good man to show Boruto because he can't be there to teach him, so he has to be a good role model. That's especially important in the first arc, to where that's sort of the point. He's trying to instill these values into Boruto, who tragically cheats instead. Naruto obviously doesn't like that, and he wants to instill these good values. So that's like the perfect arc to show this in.
yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it's just like a lot of uh
I get it.
like all of the like oh why can't he be there for my birthday or like why doesn't he come home when mom works so hard. You see there's like a lot of subtle things that Hinata does as well, like arranging their shoes and telling them to hanging up their coats and blah blah blah, like that Boruto sees her do and then like stares at his dad and is like Mer, like how dare you not like have this ability to do these simple things, because Naruto was never like raised to like to have that
He wasn't
auto
raised at
command like
all.
in his mind. I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
he lived at home with like nothing, so he's used to eating cup ramen and all that stuff. But Boruto, who comes home to like a full cooked out took hours to make meal every day by his hardworking mother, who's constantly doing laundry and dishes and taking care of him and Himawari, like and playing with them and taking them to train, all this kind of stuff. He's like, how dare this man, you know, ignore like her food and her cooking, and because Naruto has no idea how long that takes because he's never seen it happen. He's just like, oh, it's okay if I eat ramen, and Hinata doesn't care because she's not going to say anything. Like,
Yeah. But
Hi
He pisses
guys.
me off too. But
uh,
like, I understand she kind of excuses anything Naruto does, but like, it still gets annoying sometimes.
yeah,
yeah,
no, and that's what you're supposed to feel for that because you're supposed to relate to Boruto's character through that. And I think a lot of think since Naruto was like what 2002 to 2016, a lot of the people who started watching it as teenagers now grow up and have kids of their own. So Boruto's also a lot
yeah.
geared more towards kids because they took a lot of the mature stuff out of it. They took a lot of the scary stuff out of it. Like
Ah,
it's
poor kids to
Exactly.
have it. Cringe. Anyway, yeah.
but yeah, it was like meant to be like, oh, the people who grew up with Naruto can now show their kids Boruto and be like, oh yeah, here you go, this is fun, watch this.
Yeah, Naruto the Last
I
also
wish
felt like
if I had kids, I wish I could look at them and say that, but I can't in good conscience.
that. Well, now that certain B is here, I think he had something to say.
Kind of forgot about this.
Well, you wrote it in chat, assuming that's one of the things you wanted to say.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the novels, they do explain that the whole clone thing, he has to be physically there. It's a self-imposed rule on him by himself.
So he made the rule.
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
elders, but like, and that would go along with
it's even
what.
stupider.
well, no, I disagree because it goes along with what Miss And was saying that Naruto's trying
it
to be a
does,
good
but
role
I still
model.
think it's dumb. Like, I just personally think it's dumb, but I do think it fits, like, narratively with trying to show that he's setting that example. But
Yeah. Well, to be
example's
fair,
dumb.
Axel,
Just go home.
there was no explanation for a while. And then the show gave us one, which you guys are probably forgetting, which is really, really bad. So before they gave us the explanation, there was a lot of people coming out trying to defend it because everyone came out hating it when it first came out, saying Naruto's a bad father, blah blah blah. And some of the reasons they gave why Naruto can't just use shadow clones to do all the paperwork is the fact that, well, you see, like for example, in the father-child's day filler or parent-child day filler, or I guess the novel, which became a arc in the manga. You see that when Naruto does his clones, they're too tired. They're literally asleep. So obviously, it wouldn't make sense if he could do that. Likewise, you get the experience of the clone, and it costs you chakra, costs you energy. Naruto's already exhausted, so making the clones do the paperwork, it's not going to make him any less exhausted. Even if he does it in a quicker time, he's going to be just as exhausted, if not more, because he's wasting more energy on clones. So the way to do the work while being the least exhausted would be if he just did it himself. So that's just like one of the many explanations
but
people
there's
gave.
so many other options for like alternate chakra sources and other things he could do to keep himself from being like tired like that. Like he has so much at his disposal. I just can't accept that that makes sense.
Yes, and so again,
Axel, you have to take to look at it this way. It's not about chakra per se. It's about the mental fatigue.
Okay, well,
like no amount of chakra is gonna make the mental fatigue go away. We see that the Rasen
Yeah.
Shuriken
I mean,
training.
didn't he stay awake for like 2 days straight in the war, and like he was 16 then?
But that's not mental fatigue is the problem. That is more because Naruto, it's like yang energy versus yin energy. Naruto's more of a simpleton. He is good at physical endurance, but we've seen time and time again he's really bad with like mental fatigue.
Exactly. Like he can fight for a whole year if he wanted to. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. And we also see this, for example, when he's training to become
like
Hokage at the very end of the series. He like can't do the book work. He wants to do it, then he gets like halfway through and he's just tuckered out.
All of this still feels like coke to me, but
well, it is because again, the series explains it. So again, the common fan critique: why doesn't Naruto use shadow clones? I forget where it was first addressed. I'm just gonna assume the anime. After this arc, I guess the producers were like doing a nod to that thing, and so in the anime, Naruto's like, oh yeah, why didn't I just do that all along? I should just use shadow clones. And then from there on out, he uses clones so he can be home. Partially for Kawaki's. That might be where it came up first. He's going to let a clone stay in the office so that the real him can stay home to protect Kawaki.
See, that would piss me off even more. Like, both as myself and as Boruto. Because it's like, see, you couldn't do that for me, but suddenly for some random new son that you replaced us with, or not replaced, but added to our family, you can do it. Like, what makes him more important?
Well, to be fair,
no, that was actually.
To be honest.
Yeah.
That was something that Sarada pointed out as well, which was one of the reasons why she was like, "Are you not mad about this, Boruto?" And Boruto was just like, "Huh? What do you mean?" And Sarada's just like, "Come on, man."
I can't.
That's funny.
The writing, I'm sorry, I just can't.
Well, to be fair, by that point, Boruto had already learned his lesson. So not only does it make sense for Boruto to react like that, but it makes sense for Naruto to no longer need to do that.
No, I know he had gotten over it. He wasn't like bitter and jealous or anything, and they already understood each other. But it's just like, bruh, What?
Listen, I'm just trying to defend it. But again, the worst way they wrote around it was Naruto basically saying, "Oh yeah, why didn't I think of that?" It's just close. Of course, I could have done that all along.
Wait, did he actually say that?
That's what he meant. That's basically what he said. Part of the thing here, in my opinion, is I don't think Naruto was always doing it this way, or at least the paperwork wasn't always as bad. Maybe it just got bad in more recent times. Because we see... go ahead.
Because like the first part of the movie novel starts out with all the questions that were left unanswered from the fight with Kaguya, like, and it came down to the fundamental question of what even are ninja. So like they were trying to figure that out, right? And Sasuke was going away a bunch to try and, you know, find all these explanations and stuff, and finally found the scroll. And so while they're analyzing the scroll and like looking through all this stuff, after that, things after Momoshiki came, and like Naruto realized, like, okay, protecting the village needs to be more of a priority than like going out and looking for all this stuff, because they found basically what they were looking for, and they had a feeling that they weren't going to find anything else. So then Sasuke started coming around more, and Naruto started like not necessarily, like, he probably had less stressful like stuff to do in terms of like making sure that the whole Otsuki thing was it was more about like he needed to be present in the moment instead of doing a bunch of paperwork to try and figure out something in the behind the scenes.
But even with all that, I'm like, part of me is just like, even if you need to, or you can't spend time away because of whatever, then just pop a Kurama cloak on Shikamaru and have him make a couple clones, and they do it because he's smart and he has like...
That was another critique. Just have Shikamaru do it. We just don't know what Shikamaru does for the most part. Like, he might be doing stuff on his own, but he could probably just pick up some more slack.
And I know he has to go home, but like, doesn't he have strong yin release, and then Naruto has the opposite?
Yeah, so he should be the Hokage.
I'm sorry, like, it just gets worse the more you dig into it.
Shikamaru being pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
when Kakashi was Hokage, he did exactly that. He did
but with how
exactly what
smart
Axel
he is,
wanted.
if he had like 3 or 4 clones, he'd be done in like 30 minutes versus Naruto sitting there all day.
Like,
and in
imagine
the end,
Shikamaru doing all this work. What a drag.
Well, maybe everything that doesn't have to be directly stamped or signed by Naruto.
Naruto would probably read a whole page, realize he wasn't paying attention, and didn't absorb a single thing, and have to reread the entire page.
Exactly, that's so true.
But literally, just slap a Kurama cloak on him, either let the real Shikamaru or several clones do all the work, and just go home.
Yeah. But I'm assuming you all know that the entire Boruto series wasn't planned out. At first, the Boruto movie was just part of the Naruto Next Era project, or New Era project, I think it's called. Either way, the movie was made by Kishimoto. Yeah, so the movie was made as like a passion project in his own life. Like, he was essentially writing himself in it, because for all the years that he's been writing Naruto, he has been doing the same thing to his family. And so he's like writing that into the movie, like that not into the movie. That's what the movie stemmed from. That's why he wrote the movie, as well as to put in that message there at the end to show that he's learned. I think that there's some irony in that he was away from his family because he was writing Naruto. So in order to correct that, he went away from his family to write Boruto the movie. But at least he learned his lesson.
Well, it said actually in the beginning of the book that like the novel, which was written by Kishimoto, that was dedicated to his father. It says like Chichie in the first page.
Oh, so okay, so are you saying that it wasn't about Kishimoto and his children, but rather Kishimoto and his father?
I think so. Possibly because of that dedication, but I don't know. I haven't seen any like interviews or anything like that.
Okay. I mean, it could be both. I don't know. Well, maybe. I haven't seen the thing that you're referencing. I'm referencing something else, so it could be both. Based on that.
I can send a picture of it in chat if you want. I have the book down here.
Sure. Something else I'll say is I think it is also somewhat consistent with Naruto's character to do what he did. You can say it's stupid that other characters didn't tell Naruto the shadow clone thing earlier, or let alone the fact that Naruto didn't just figure it out since he's a shadow clone master who uses it every other step anyways. But one thing I want to point out is, this is anime only, but after Naruto lost Kurama fighting Ishiki, Sakura examines him. One of the things Naruto says is that all along, he's kind of felt like he's been cheating because of everything he's been able to do. So you could say Naruto, considering that's his mindset, to be fair, it's in the filler, you could say it's filler, but considering that's Naruto's mindset, you could apply that to him being Hokage and why he wouldn't want to use clones. Especially considering the first movie where Boruto's cheating, and Naruto doesn't like that. And again, I think the most satisfying answer is what Miss And was saying about the Naruto versus Sasuke ideology, the bet they made, and at the end of the arc, Sasuke was the one who was proven right, not Naruto. And so I think that's the most satisfying answer of why Naruto would go from no clones to clones, in addition to everything else that we said, for being the Hokage.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Writing wise, I can accept that, but I don't think that they thought that far ahead. I think what you said was like way more steps and thought than they ever put into it.
I think they just didn't think about it in the first place. Like, they're just... because, again, it's Kishimoto writing based on his real life, and so he's writing Naruto into that position. He's not thinking, well, why can't Naruto just use shadow clones? Because Kishimoto wasn't thinking that for his real life. It just wasn't even a consideration in the first place. So it's just whenever the fans started saying that, that's when they considered it and wrote it in the series.
As much as I want to say it's hard to believe he couldn't think of that, I also have to remember how much of his own continuity he forgot. So, like, it's kind of hard for me not to say that that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't think he necessarily forgot. I just think that they were trying to, again, make it more relatable to the younger generation, because, like,
Boruto here, I'm talking about Naruto and all the stuff that he didn't connect. But I get
what do you mean, like using shadow clones and stuff?
No, like things from Naruto that just got dropped or never connected back. There's like so many of them that it's easy for me to believe that he could have possibly just not even thought of the clone thing in Boruto.
So, speaking of...
do you guys remember Madara's trump card?
Remember what now?
Was that the thing we never
Madara's
actually
trump
found out?
card.
I'm sorry, what's the word after Madara?
Madara's trump
Trump
card.
card.
Oh, trump card. You mean against Obito?
Yeah.
It was probably the heart tag, if not the weird Zetsu arm thing he did.
Yeah, I thought it was Zetsu, but yeah, it could have been the heart tag.
I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it was